Said I'm going to be campaign manager.
I'm telling you, man, it's the only way to fly.
Good
Be
morning.
like,
I was connected to the wrong voice chat. Sorry. I'm here now.
what other voice chat could you possibly be connected to?
Another server that I had connected to, apparently. Anyway,
Apparently.
I'm here.
Well, Buckington was telling me that he's soon going to be a campaign manager, encourage everybody to talk about all the dirt they've ever done in their life.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I think you should. If nothing else, if that is the basis of the campaign, it'll be interesting.
It's like, what can they say bad about you if you've already said it?
Right. It's like,
did
you get that from Eminem? 8 Mile. Is that where you got that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years. Is that in there?
Well, yeah. He that's when he goes out and he says, "I do live in a trailer park. My mom is a drug addict." Da, 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 da. Yeah. He says that.
Well,
if I say everything bad
it would
about
make
myself,
sense
there's
though
nothing
that he would be prophetic in his messaging. It would make sense.
There you go.
I like him. He's a smart boy. He's a very smart boy. All right, Bender. So my battle over the ribs went as planned.
You got your ass kicked.
I absolutely did. But sometimes you have to stand up for what you believe in, regardless of if you know you're going to go ahead and take it in the face. You got to go ahead. You got to put your foot in the ground every once in a while. So my feet were in the ground. Then I got knocked on my ass. And I can honestly say that if I had to do it all over again, I would do it all over again. I would absolutely have that conversation and then that little tussle. Because you can't sit by in life and have somebody eating all your ribs. Even though if what they're telling you is the reason why she couldn't control herself is because they were so good and she just couldn't control herself. It's like, so that's like a compliment, but at the same time, I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about this other than to say from now on, I will not be last to hit the leftover ribs. I will not be complacent in this thinking that they will be there.
You should put a lock on the fridge.
See, this is how you get stabbed, dude. It's like, it's how you get stabbed. How you get stabbed. But, all in all, I'm glad we had the conversation. I wish the outcome would have been different. However, you live and you learn. You live
Indeed.
and you learn. All right. Well, okay. So we have some stuff. I guess the International Monetary Fund, they're going to give their annual report here in the next few minutes as far as saying we're all fucked. So that should be cool. Look, nothing's changed. We had two Fed speakers yesterday, and the headlines are kind of running with them, how they came in a little bit dovish, saying, hey, we don't need to be all psycho and shit. We'll see how that plays out moving forward. We have more Fed speakers today, and then we have minutes tomorrow. We get PPI tomorrow, I believe, and then we get CPI on Thursday. So, look, we can have the same day today that we did yesterday. Or we could have the same day we did yesterday and a melt up instead of a meltdown. Who the fuck knows? I know that flow is not friendly. I know that nothing is friendly. I know that this market is just a piece of shit to trade. Personally, I believe that it is. Maybe some others are like, oh, it's great. Just buy puts and it's great. It's not great. Not great. That's just my opinion. So with that being said, I don't have a whole lot to say about really anything. These levels, let's see if they hold. Let's see what level we reject today. Let's see kind of what the setup may or may not be going into data in the morning and Fed minutes. I just don't know, Bender. There's just not a whole lot to say at this point. It's like if you're watching a sports team in a situation like this, kind of like the Broncos. It's very, very similar. It's just like they just suck. It's just like they just suck. It's like it's unwatchable. Like that game Thursday night. It's like that shit was unwatchable. This market for me, the way it's trading right now, is unwatchable. Flow is very, very difficult to get a handle on, just because there's so much money being moved around. For example, you'll see like 350 SPY puts come on the bid out to, let's say, the 21st, and then they come seconds later right back and hitting the same 350s out to November 18th. So it's just, even when you're seeing puts coming on the bid, they're refiring them at a later expiration. So basically money just moving, buying more time, taking profit. Money moving, buying more time, taking profit. That's all that's going down to the downside for the most part. And a lot of people are starting to catch on to the thing that some of these calls that are coming through here and there, especially on the indexes, those are hedges in a lot of ways, because it's like we're not moving towards those price points. We're moving away from them. Which again, very, very interesting. The only other interesting observation that I'll put out there, we have not seen that big boy hedge move in a couple of days. It's still sitting there at that 41 level. I haven't seen it close out, haven't seen it move out. So it's still there. I don't know what to say about that, but he has not, or she has not, felt the need to move it around. This being said, Bender, tell me about your lines. Tell me which way we go. Tell me if we go ups or if we go downs.
Well, I don't know if we go ups or downs, but I can
Damn it, Bender.
give you some if-then scenarios. You know, if, then, else. Anyway.
Just want the answers, Bender. I just want the answers.
Well, you have to determine. The answer is like, well, you have to wait and see. That's the whole if-then scenario.
You know, I woke up off the couch this morning at like 3 a.m. or like, no, it was like closer to 4. And I looked at, how the individual tickers were kind of trading, I guess, overnight or whatever. And I look and it's like, oh, everything's green. So I go to bed. And then I wake up about an hour and a half later and I look at it and everything really red. Very disheartening.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll shut up. Please tell us about the levels.
All right. So we're currently 36.15. Just below or right where we are, pretty much 36.14 is the 20 MA on the 60 minute. If we are to give up 36.14, 36.02 is the 10 MA on the 60 minute. Below that, obviously 3600. The big one, 35.91, which is the 200 MA on the weekly. We did give that up briefly overnight or early this morning. 35.85 was the overnight low. So that 35.91, 200 MA on the weekly so far, has held. If it wicks below and then pops back above, well, it's still held. So that's kind of what we're looking for. If it breaks, if you see it break 35.90 with some momentum behind it, I'll put out some new lines, but you're probably looking 35.50 to 35.70, somewhere in there. Levels above 36.40 is the 50 MA on the 60 minute. 36.60 is that previous area of support and resistance that we've talked about for a couple weeks. 36.89 is the 5 MA on the daily, and then 3700. So that's kind of your above and below. I think kind of teeing up the morning. I want to see if we hold above 3600, and then I'll be watching kind of 3620 to 3625. I think if we can get above 3625 and hold it, then we have, we might get some more ups. If we cannot reclaim 3620 and we find ourselves below 3600 again, then I'll be targeting that 3585, that overnight low.
All right.
Outside of that, you know, I'm I'm scalping, you know, playing smaller size. Like you said, we have data and speakers and things like that, and CPI on Thursday, and I think that's the big one.
Yeah, no, it definitely is the big one. I don't know. I went and started pricing out laptops this morning. Just kind of looking around just to see what's out there. There's some decent sales. It's like there you can see the price cuts, and those types of things. But it's not like this deep sell that people are talking about.
Yeah.
It's like 15% off of, a price is not really a sell.
Especially 10 to 15% off of a price that is 40% higher than it was.
Yeah, no, it's not there. It's not there. It's like, so I don't know. There was an interesting chart as far as inventory to sales. I'll look for it. I saw this morning. Just really interesting how it's like inventory to sales is like at its highest level that it's been over the last like almost 10 years, which is like it's really really wild when you think about that. Considering the continued conversation about supply chain. If there's supply chain issues, why is there such an inventory glut?
Yeah.
Other than them saying we bought too many sweatpants, we made too many sweatpants instead of, slacks. It's there's so many disconnects in this, and it feels so disingenuous. But we are where we are. CPI has a chance to really really move us, and I don't want to call this a range, but out of this zone, one way or the other. It's like gun to head bender. It's like after CPI gets released, are we trading closer to 380 or closer to 330?
Closer to 380.
Yeah. But ultimately, that's the only question at this point. All right. Stockington probably has his dog is staring at him cross-eyed going, hey, dude, let's go. What you got there, Stockington?
All right. Yeah, ready. Let's see. Don't really need to put out anything new. Tesla, I guess, drifted a little bit down below the trigger for puts. That was 221.85. So see if we get some kind of retest. If not below, we've got yesterday's lower orb was down there at 218.35. See what we get if we push down. And then to the upside, I have this line on Tesla up there at 225.2. Pretty much just recycled the triggers from the previous day because Tesla was kind of stuck in a range all day yesterday. And we've got NVIDIA. There was a real-time dark pool as well as a couple other little lines that trickled in at 116.75. Worked as after-hours resistance yesterday. So I'd be keeping an eye on that. The triggers I had were 115.15. The downside is also this line down here at 114.45, kind of like yesterday's low area on NVIDIA. And if we were going to push up, I'll be watching to see what NVIDIA does with 118.15. Apple. I have Apple rejecting pre-market. There was a little dark pool up there at 140.72. So see what it does up there. It's going to push that. Below, we've got, I had a line at 139.6 to potentially take out short, and there's also a little dark pool down there that lines up with yesterday's lower orb, 138.93. Other than that, dark pool from last night after the close was pretty blah. Nothing really stood out. There was a little signature print area on the SPY at 160.13. There's 1.5 billion sitting there. There's $7 billion on the SPY below at 357.25. And then UVXY had 2 taps yesterday at 1350. That's a good line to have on your UVXY chart. But that's all I got.
That's all the man has. Yeah, look, I think in a lot of ways we're in a holding pattern. It's like it's going to be what it is. I'm looking for some type of breadcrumbs through all this. I don't know. The flow is so difficult to get a handle on, and a lot of times when I say that, it's like people want to assume that, well, the flow isn't working. No, flow is working perfectly. Just don't like what it's doing. It's not clear and easy, and trading this market is not clear and easy. Even the twat waffles that want to sit there and be like, just spot plus every day and you're fine. Y'all gotten your ass reamed a few times along the way of your death and destruction run. So it's like it's not all gravy, and the flow is basically saying that there is a lot of confusion, there is a lot of positioning for who the fuck knows what. Once we get clarity in some capacity, and the keener eyes are going to be able to find it, we'll be in a much better spot. But that's going to take time to work out the kinks. I don't think anybody's overly pleased with the price activity and what we're seeing. So let's see what we get. Let's try to be sharp today. Let's try to be smart. Let's try to be all the things that we try to be. So those intentions that we have every morning when we wake up, let's try to maintain those as long as possible. I'll do my best to not say it's fucking stupid 37 times today. I try to like whittle that down to like 12.
Even if it's fucking stupid.
Even if it's fucking stupid, I'll come up with a different word for it, just so I can stay within the spirit of the deal. But yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? See, it's like I see all these things at the prices that they're at, right? And it reminds me of like the super hot chick at the bar, and it's just like, man, she's so hot, but she won't fuck. She just will not fuck, no matter what. No matter, just will not. Just will not. Will not. She'll like tease, like casually like put her hand on your leg and that kind of, she'll tease, make you think it's like, oh, we might have a buy signal here. We might be able to score one. She ain't gonna fuck.
Right, then she's gonna put one hand around your neck and tickle your shoulder, gently rub it, while she slips the other hand into your coat pocket and steals your wallet.
Yeah. That was a good couple of seconds with her hand around my throat. I will say that. Story for a different day. All right, man. We'll market opens in 11 minutes and some change. We will see you soon.